What up, everybody? Just finished a fucking solid back and biceps workout. That shit took 3 freaking hours, right? I got some freaking pre-workout cardio in too, because I had to skate like 2.5 miles over there, and it's hot over here, man. I think it's like breaking like 95 to 100 degrees. And I'm not a lean dude, if you get my meaning, so got the body heat going. But just got done with my workout, locked in, cleansed, because you don't want to be walking around with, your freaking smelly gym self around your freaking house. You want to freaking relax, you want to chill out. I got the cross on, feeling good, feeling freaking solid. 5:22 p.m. August 5th. Dialed in, locked in, always. Alright. But, just in a mood to yap about some stuff. And, with summer being almost over, a lot of people like to make like hefty goals during the summer, myself included. People like to say, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this thing I've been putting off, or I'm gonna start hitting the freaking gym with that Planet Fitness Teens Summer Pass, or I'm gonna fucking repair my car, or I'm gonna build a new desk for my wife, or some freaking random stuff that people want to do during the summer. But one thing that I've noticed with a lot of people, again, myself included, I'm not like the freaking patron saint of freaking productivity, sorry. But a lot of people, they make these goals, and they have that goal in mind, and they work very hard to achieve it. But it's like they get that week one. I'm gonna speak in the first person. I get that like week one freaking locked in phase where me personally, it's for working out, weight loss, just all in all being physically dialed in and spiritually dialed in. But a lot of people make these freaking goals, and then the second they fail, not even fail, man, it's like someone who's trying to lose weight, they're trying to eat at 2,000 calories per day, and they decide to binge on their favorite sweet treat, or some fucking Cheez-Its or something. I'm a sucker for them Cheez-Its, man. Them Cheddar Jack Cheez-Its too, man. But they decide to binge on these snacks. They eat 800 calories worth of Cheez-Its, and then they just start beating themselves up for it, man. That dopamine from the Cheez-Its already hit, and all of a sudden it's just, I failed, man. Oh, I was doing so good. I was dialed in. I lost 2 pounds this week. Went from 250 to 248, but now it's all ruined because I ate 800 calories worth of Cheez-Its. And it's okay to be like, damn, I messed up. I dialed out of my freaking diet or my workout routine, or studying. I didn't study enough for this test and I failed. But it's not really failure, it's you faltered a little bit. You made a mistake. But people expect themselves to be fucking perfect the first time around. Especially when it's something that they've never done before. I can't tell you how many times I've heard somebody be like, oh man, like when I try something new and I'm not a fucking pro at it in the beginning, then I just don't want to do it anymore. But especially with weightlifting, man. With weightlifting, people get these newbie gains for a few months. They're making a lot of progress. They're getting big, or they're getting lean if that's their goal. They're getting strong, and the second they hit a plateau, it's like, oh shit, well, guess I'm locked out right now. Oh, okay, guess I'll go fucking order a freaking pizza. But people just and I, and a lot of people tend to beat ourselves up too much when we falter like that, you know. If you don't go to failure on one exercise, if you eat 500 calories above your limit, you know, shit like that, and they just beat themselves up rather than learning from it, you know, because all you're gonna do from being like, oh man, I failed, I failed my freaking diet today, oh, I suck, man, I'm just gonna be a fat ass forever, I'm gonna be skinny forever, you know, I'm gonna be skinny fat forever, God forbid. They just start to say that shit, and all that's gonna, they think that, and I think that being hard on yourself and fucking, you know, especially insulting yourself, you know, it's gonna build discipline, you know. I'm hard as shit, man. My bad. I'm hard. I'm tough. You know, I give myself shit when I fail, just so I can get back up. But you know what? I think for like 85% of the population, you know, who aren't David Goggins level, like fucking, you know, dialed in, you know, taking souls or whatever the fuck. You know, they're beating themselves up, insulting themselves, you know, being like, oh man, I fucking failed, oh, I can't do this shit. And then that's just gonna make them want to binge eat again, or you know, give in to temptation again. And, you know, it's hard to see, man, especially when it's just you, you know. Like, when you have someone holding you accountable, a good person holding you accountable, you know, you don't want to just get your homie and then you fail your diet. You're like, hey bro, I just failed my diet. He's like, oh, fat ass. For some people that works. That used to work for me. It doesn't really work now, but, you know, all it's going to do is make you want to fucking do it again. You know? Because a lot of people get into that mindset of like, oh, well, I failed. I'm a fat ass, but I suck. You know? And then it's like, well, since I'm already this bad, I'm just going to fucking order a freaking pizza, or I'm going to binge on Cheez-Its again. I really like Cheez-Its. Or, you know, I'm just gonna, you know, not work out today. You know, I'm already a fat ass. I'm just not gonna work out today. What do you really think that's doing for you? Because one, you're locking out from your goals if you're just insulting yourself all the time. You know, and two, you're your own bully, man. You know, some people say that, you know, your partner has to be your biggest supporter, or your parents, or, you know, your best buddy, or your teachers, or your, you know, whatever. But, like, dude, you have to be your biggest supporter, because at the end of the day, like, you're working for yourself, you know? Like, those people supporting you, of course they're going to support you if you pick, you know, good, or if your parents are good, you know? Because my parents, my mom, like, really supports me, you know? She's very supportive. My girlfriend, beautiful girlfriend, she supports me, you know? Her family supports me, too, you know? I got a solid group of people who support me. And, you know, whenever I'm sitting here being like, oh man, I fucking failed yesterday, dude, I'm fat as shit, you know what they say to me? They don't say to me, oh yeah, well, you are fat, bro, you suck, man, you should just, you know, you're not dialed in. No, dude. They tell me what is true. They tell me, yeah, man, I mean, you did do that, but, I mean, you've been dialed in for 2 weeks, you know, you've been locked in, dude, just wake up tomorrow and do a little bit better, you know. Especially my girlfriend very supportive. If you're you know, looking for someone, you know, get yourself someone who will support you at your lowest, you know. Don't go around being like, oh yeah, well, I'm fucking jacked, I'm at my prime, this is when I gotta find a girl. Nah, dude. Because, you know, what happened with me is I was at my lowest. I was at my lowest because I'm a family guy. No, I was at my lowest, and, you know, she was there to pick me up rather than keep me where I was at just because I'm already there. You know, if that makes sense. I don't really know. This is my first time yapping to a fucking camera, so I don't really know if what I'm saying makes sense. But, you know, I hope you kind of get what I mean. But, I don't know, man. You just gotta stop beating yourself up. As simple as that. Just be like, yeah, man, I failed my diet today. Yeah, man, I ate too many carbs. I didn't eat enough protein. Ate a lot of fats. You know, guess I'll just freaking lock in tomorrow. You know, identify what you did wrong. Be like, yeah, that was stupid of me. You know, if I do this more often, I'm going to be fat. You know, but you're you're not fat for just fucking indulging. That's why. Sorry, I'm gonna check if it's the missus. It was. Hold on, be right back. All right. Yeah, see exactly what I was talking about. She's being supportive. She said, I'm glad you had a good workout, honey. Get you someone who talks to you like that, man. You know? Like, low-key forgot what I was talking about, you know? But yeah, dude, just stop beating yourself up, man. You identify what you did wrong. Be like, yeah, that was wrong. If I do that more often, I'm going to get fat. Or if I do that more often, I'm going to fail more tests. Or, whatever. You can apply this to everything. It's not just, weight training, but, that's what I apply it to. I should probably apply it to school. I'm starting freaking college soon. I got to lock in. But just be easy on yourself, man. It doesn't make you cool or tough to just beat down on yourself all the time. Ride the highs and the lows. You know what I mean? Especially the lows. Because the lows will teach you what you really need to learn. But, just being like, oh yeah, bro. I just benched 315. I'm going to be at this point for the rest of my life. Nutty. But yeah, man. Just be easy on yourself. Get a good support system, man. Because you can't do that shit by yourself, And if you can't find someone to freaking support you, you got that guy. My bad. Anyway, I think I made my point already. Just stay locked in, man. Just stay locked in. Get a good support system. And if you can't, if you don't have a good freaking support system, turn to this guy. Turn to this freaking guy. So we'll keep you locked in and watch over you. All right. That's about it. See ya.